Hey everyone, it's the Brownstone Boys. We are teaming up with Flagstar Bank on a 5-part video series walking you through everything you need to know a bit about a renovation. From buying a fixer-upper, to planning your renovation, to all the costs associated.
In our last video, we talked about how to budget for a project. Something like a kitchen renovation, a bathroom renovation, or even your entire house. So go back and check that video out if you haven't seen it. Today, we're talking about how to plan your renovation, who to get involved with, and all the bumps you're gonna hit in the road along the way. We're even gonna interview one of our favorite contractors so you can hear directly from him. And stick around to the end of the video because we're gonna have some helpful resources from Flagstar Bank on planning and financing your renovation.
Do us a favor and like this video, but if you have any questions, drop them into the comments below and we're gonna answer all of the comments for these videos. So let us tell you where we're at. Right now, we are at our largest renovation project to date. We call it Clinton Hill Carriage House, and it is almost an entirely new build of an existing property that goes back to the late 1800s that was originally a carriage house. We are transforming this gorgeous 3-story building into a family home and giving it a little modern life to a new carriage house.
And when the homeowners bought this place, it was quite the fixer-upper. Needed a ton of work and it could have really been a daunting project, but understanding the process and how you're gonna get from A to Z can really help you wrap your head around it.
So the first step is really understanding your budget and what you have to work with. You wanna have an idea of your renovation costs going into your reno, so you obviously don't run out of funds.
And the first person that we bring into the project is the architect. And we always recommend walking through the project, inviting them to the house, walking through with about 2 to 3 architects. So you can listen to their ideas for the space, see if they align with what you were thinking. Once the walkthrough is done, they'll provide a proposal. And when you get all the proposals from the architects, you can compare them and decide which one you want to work with.
And any good architect should be able to present 2 to 3 schematic designs for you, which you can really get a lay of the land of your home.
And then from there, the architect will start the filing process with the city. It should take, I would imagine, 8 to 10 weeks is
right.
what I would budget.
So during those 8 to 10 weeks while you're waiting for the filing, my personal opinion is that is a great time to get all of your finished costs together. If you love a spreadsheet as much as I do, you might really enjoy this process, but you basically will want to write down every single thing you will need per room on a spreadsheet. If you're bringing a designer into the project, which we always recommend, but sometimes budget doesn't allow, it's a great way to start getting all of your samples together, and it's a really good time for you to put those costs associated with your finishes into that spreadsheet.
You also want to create a lookbook for each space. So a lookbook can help you just kind of conceptually build that design, and that'll help you understand what that room can look like.
But don't worry too much about this because lucky for you, in our next video, we are delving into the hard associated costs for a kitchen renovation and all those finishes that you will need in order to create a beautiful space.
So you know the architect's the first person that you bring in. So let's talk about some of the other players that are involved that you might want to bring into your project. So Jordan mentioned the designer. You might want a designer to help you choose all of those finishes and help you source all those materials. And then the next are the engineers that you might need to have involved. You may need structural, you may need mechanical, or you may need electrical engineers.
As Barry said, you might need engineers, but the architect will be the one to let you know if you need the engineer specifically for your project.
So this is a big one. The next person that you want involved in your project is your general contractor.
Oof.
And it's really important that you find the right person. You're gonna be working very closely with them. You're gonna be problem solving on site. You're gonna be talking to them early in the morning, late at night, day in, day out. And so you wanna make sure it's someone that you can work very closely with.
Yeah, when we started our own renovation, I had the most questions around finding the general contractor. And now that we've done several renovations, we have kind of developed a system that has been really helpful. And we're gonna let you know a couple of our tips and tricks. The first and foremost is that you want to ask your friends and family if they've had any great experiences working with general contractors in the best. Family and friends know you the best. They know what your quirks are, they know what your strengths, your weaknesses are, and it's important that a general contractor can make sure that they are targeting all of those specifics that are necessary for your home renovation.
The next thing that you can do is if you see a renovation project in your neighborhood, pull the car over, go inside, get the contractor's information, check out the house that they're working on, see if you can talk to that homeowner. That is a really great way to find a contractor that is in your area and possibly doing a similar job in a similar type of house as yours.
Yeah. So another big thing is having an understanding of your project. Here at the Carriage House, like we mentioned, it is almost an entirely new build. Having a restoration contractor wasn't as important, but on several of our brownstone projects, we're working with those original details, the plaster work, the original woodwork. So having a GC specializing in restoration work is of utmost importance. So really know the strengths and weaknesses of your GC.
We also have a surprise for you guys. We are going to talk to the contractor here at the Carriage House, Nelson Way with Wildstone Construction. He's one of our favorite contractors, and he's going to help answer some questions for us.
Nelson, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Jordan, Barry, thank you.
You're so welcome. It's good to see you in this context, but where are we at right now?
We are right at the Carriage House, as you say. This is very exciting. We are right in the middle of finishing up the structural work and about to start the finishing work. A lot of things going on right now. For a project of this size, right, it's definitely budget is one of the consideration thing. I should say there's always a way to fit in different type of budget. So if we can clarify their budget and then we can trim the design and the construction methods. I can only tell based on my experience because I know every different project's different. When we open up the wall, there are always some surprise, right?
Yeah.
In terms of percentage, I want to say maybe you should budget in about 20% plus minus.
Nice.
I know many of my clients may see this video footage, but I want to say
Don't watch this.
I want to say this project is one of the very interesting and challenging project that I love. When I do every day, I go to different job sites. I like to see something different. I like to solve problems. So I kind of enjoy what I do. Dealing with this Carriage House, I love the challenge and also, of course, the historical meaning behind it. I think this is one of the most interesting projects.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Nelson.
Thank you, Jordan.
And how can people find you?
You can see our Instagram here.
So now, as promised, we have some helpful resources from Flagstar Bank that can help you plan and finance your project. Flagstar Bank offers some incredible resources that can be extremely useful if you are about to tackle a renovation. One of the things that we love most that you can find on flagstar.com are their financial calculators.
So they have things like a mortgage loan calculator, even auto finance and retirement, but we're gonna look at the home equity calculator. If you have a renovation project that you wanna tackle in your house and you wanna pay for it using the equity that's in your home, you can come here and find out how much you might be able to pull out, and then also how much the payment may be on it, which are two really important things to know as you go into this process. So if we click on home equity calculators, there's two options there: home equity loan or line of credit, and then the home equity line of credit payment calculators. So let's go to the home equity loan or line of credit calculator, and there we can see exactly how much we might be able to pull out from our home's equity to do a renovation project. So we're gonna go through this and just make up some numbers just as an example. But let's say that the appraised value of our home is $500,000, and let's say we have a mortgage payment left of $300,000. So that is gonna give us a $100,000 that we can pull out of the equity that is in our home to actually build more value and more equity in your house by doing a renovation project that increases the value.
We always recommend coming in and playing around with some of the numbers so you really know what the value can be if you do this absolutely stunning renovation, which you will tackle.
So let's go back and look at what a payment might be on a home equity line of credit. So that is also a really helpful tool, and that's when we're taking out a line of credit that we can use to finance our renovation. So we'll just look at the example that they have already here. Let's say we're taking out a loan for $50,000 to do our kitchen renovation. We have an interest rate of 4.9%, and then our repayment period is 10 years. So we can see that our payment is $527.89. So even if paying for a kitchen renovation of $50,000 might seem like a lump sum of money that's just impossible to come up with, we have this more manageable monthly mortgage payment of $527 that is giving us the enjoyment of living in a beautiful kitchen and enjoying that, but also building that value into the home.
So having an understanding of these costs can be super helpful. All of these resources can be found on flagstar.com. So as you can see, Flagstar Bank offers tons of resources for you to transform and invest into your space soundly.
Let us know in the comments below if you're working on any fun home projects or if you have any questions. We can't wait to answer them all. We're gonna drop some links below to learn more about Flagstar's products, and happy renovating.
Check out Flagstar Bank at flagstar.com. Also check out Flagstar's YouTube channel for financial tips and tricks.